Yo, everybody, welcome to Sunday Service, a podcast all about real estate and real deals that we've been doing. Today, we're going to be talking about BRRRR strategy. And as you guys know that we hate the BRRRR strategy, but we ironically use it frequently. So we're going to be talking about it. Cody's been really doing a phenomenal job inside of our business, taking deals that we've purchased with Creative Finance and converting them into BRRRR deals. And the reason being is we have some balloons on some of them. And I think one of them is just kind of a funky deal in the first place. We have a lot of cash tied up in it. So today we're going to be talking about when do we use the BRRRR and how can it actually serve you in your business. And I think we should probably start off talking about why we think BRRRR sucks, or why it's challenging. And I'll start. Well, let's take turns. Okay, I'm going to give one. You give one reason. Okay.
All right.
I would say the number one reason why I don't love the BRRRR is because everybody talks about it like it's a beginner strategy, when it really is not a beginner strategy whatsoever. It is so challenging, and the requirements are so intense that if I'm brand new, right, Cody, I'm sure you get DMs all the time like, how do I get started in real estate? And there's so many people teaching the BRRRR strategy as if it's a beginner strategy. And I think that's my biggest qualm, my biggest issue with BRRRR. What about you?
I would say just the amount of time it takes to do one of those deals, especially if you don't have a team, how time intensive that becomes for you, just doing one without a team.
That is a great point. And then, even you at your ninja status, it's like you're spending so much time and energy doing things that you're just like, really? And I would say the lender that we're currently using is like a Jedi master lender. He's unbelievable. And I think he's finally a lender that actually can actually get the job done. Did we just finish a BRRRR refinance like recently?
We have a package that we bundled. We have 6 houses that we're refinancing right now. So essentially, yes.
Okay. So why don't we start off by telling people that don't know what the BRRRR strategy is? Why don't we tell them what the BRRRR strategy is?
Yeah. So simply rent, refinance, repeat. That is essentially what that BRRRR method looks like. And just really fast on why is this a suggested path for people to follow? Well, the BRRRR strategy essentially, here is the positive that the real estate world gives for the BRRRR strategy, which I do agree with, is when you buy a property for a discount, like you were going to fix and flip it, you go in, you renovate it, you fix the roof, you fix the hot water heater, you fix the AC, you fix the plumbing, the electrical, all of the things that, become nuisances and things that you have to fix frequently when you have just a regular rental. Without doing those things, it reduces your expense that you're going to spend on fixing the property when it's a rental. And then you're going to refinance it. And in that refinance stage, you should be able to have not a lot of money into that deal, where you should have very little, or you should be able to recapture all of the money you put into it by refinancing the property. So that's essentially, one of the biggest arguments for why BRRRR is great. But like I saw Randy was mentioning here too, it's not a beginner strategy. That's really it. And Daniel had a good point. It's a fix and flip that you refi instead of sell. Yes, basically it's a fix and flip, then you rent it, then you refinance it.
I really do like that description, actually. It's a fix and flip that you refinance instead of selling.
Yeah.
So here's, like, people talk about BRRRR, going back to one of the reasons I don't like it. My reason was it's not a beginner strategy, even though people talk about it as if it is. Your reason you don't like the BRRRR strategy, and we're going to jump into all the reasons we do like it. Okay, so stay tuned. We will talk about the reasons we do like it. But Cody's reason was it takes up a tremendous amount of time and resources for one deal. Whereas, like, here's what's funny. Hold on a second. We closed on 4 creative finance deals last Friday, 4 in one day. And the amount of time and energy that these 4 deals took right here are these 4 deals are probably 1/10 the amount of work as one BRRRR deal. So I would say the amount of work that goes into one BRRRR deal is 40 times greater, literally 40 times greater than one creative finance deal. Okay. The time that's needed, the resources that are needed. And we're going to jump into like, what are the resources right now? Let's talk about that. If I'm a beginner, what do I have to plan on needing to do the BRRRR strategy? Just jump into that for just a second. I would say the first one would be, I need to actually have cash, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's so many things. I mean, for the BRRRR to work, you need cash. You need the next C, which is credit.
You need credentials.
Yep. Credentials, AKA 1099, W-2. 1099 sucks. It's just a harder way to get it done. But W-2.
You could do 1099 if you had 2 years of it.
Yes. And hope that works out.
And pray, right? So you need cash. Okay, cool. You could use a private lender here, so I'll give them that. Credit, there's no way around
no getting around that
here, right? Yeah. If you don't have great credit, what would you say is the minimum credit score that you need here?
So the minimum credit score with the lender that we use for these, it's 680. 680 is the minimum that they will even have a conversation. But that's when we look at that, this lender requires 680. I mean, some of the lenders, it's like you need 680 plus you need to show them the last 2 years of deals that you've done or last year of deals.
That's exactly it, guys. Credit is not just your score. Credit is right here. It's your history.
Credit is your credibility.
Our lender, which is a really good lender, I'm going to tell you right now, it's the only lender that we found, and Cody found this lender. So thank you, Cody. It's the only lender I've found that actually says he's going to do something and does it. Everybody else we ever talk to, it's the same story. Yeah, we can do this. We can do that. We can, create a loan where you have this or that or whatever. And it always is a dupe, a snoop and dupe. Okay. They make you start snooping around and then they dupe you right at the last second. They go, oh, sorry, our rates changed, or our down payment requirements changed, or, oh, sorry, I forgot we don't lend on these types of homes. And you're like, dude, I've been literally working with you for months. Do you remember the freaking Lemon House, that first lender we were going through that they were like, oh yeah, we're going to close. And then all of a sudden they come back and I can't remember what it was that they changed their mind on something so stupid. And then they also were like, yeah, we can get it for 20% down or 80% loan to value. And we'll go through what that means for people that don't even know what that means. And then they came back and they're like, oh, sorry, it needs to be 35% loan to value. Okay. So that's my other reason why I don't love it, is that not only do you need cash, okay, the cash that you have, a lot of times people will say, oh, well, if you do the BRRRR strategy, okay, you can, when you refinance, you get 100% of your money back. No way is that happening. Okay. It does happen on deals that we've owned for a long time and they've appreciated, but for the most part, we still have money tied up in these deals, right, Cody?
Yeah. I mean, typically what I'm seeing on the ones that we're putting together, we're still going to end up having, around $20,000 to $30,000 tied up in some of those. I mean, we have the one Coolidge property that when we refinance that one, I mean, we'll get cash out, but that's a special case because of how big of a renovation and how, we've had that under contract for 2 years, but yeah.
Oh yeah. There you go. So BRRRR, here's the challenge, is that BRRRR, people talk about it as if it's a beginner strategy. We already know this is not a beginner strategy. Okay. Because beginners typically don't have resources. They don't have cash. They don't have credit. They typically don't have a W-2 income, right? These people are, starting their journey in real estate full time. And then what happens is that your cash, they teach that your cash out, you get all your cash back. You get all your money back and then you can go do it again. Guys, that is not what is going on in BRRRR. I would say 1 out of 20 deals gets all their money back. Would you say that's about an appropriate ratio?
Yeah. I mean, unless you're getting them just stupid stupidly deep discounted, like literally under 50% of value, and they're not massive renovations, then sure, you're going to get more of those out. But it's just few and far between on that.
So what I put Abdul up here on the screen. He says, I love creative finance, but it's so much harder to find deals, especially in this market. I find BRRRR deals all the time. Okay. Yeah. Cause you can just go on the MLS, right? If you have cash, you can go do a BRRRR deal all day long. Right. Hi, Hiel. Good to see you.
Hi.
So you can go do, here's the thing. I completely disagree with this because Cody and I have an acquisition business. I feel like creative finance is the easiest deal to find. They're the easiest, absolutely the easiest. All you have to know is creative finance, and you can go to every wholesaler in the entire country and go, give me your dead leads. That's it. Give me your dead leads. You buy deals subject to, buy deals seller finance. I mean, this one lady has sold us, I don't even know how many houses. She still has so many houses left. We've got a $5 million package of homes right now we're working that we're getting all on seller finance. The deals are everywhere. And here's the thing is I consider a deal something that you can make money on and that a beginner can do. A deal doesn't just mean I bought a house. In my opinion, BRRRR is really challenging because if I want to go buy a house, let's say is worth $200,000, and I go on the MLS or somebody sends me a deal, they're not sending you a deal. Let's be very clear of what a deal is. A deal is something that's profitable and easy to do. That's a deal. Like I feel like I got a deal, right? I got a deal. If I go into the grocery store and I see a loaf of bread at $4 for a loaf, and I see the same loaf in another grocery store for $2, that's a deal. The $2 loaf of bread is a deal. The other $4 loaf of bread is retail. It's not, unless somebody's going to give it to me on terms, that $4 loaf of bread is not a deal. It's full retail. And so when I talk to people about BRRRR, they're going in and sinking in 25 and 30% down payments into these stupid things. And they're getting all their money tied up on things that are not great deals. They're low returns. So really the only way that Cody and I are doing BRRRR deals is because we are direct to seller. Okay, here's the thing. Samuel, oh, I love this. This is so good. Samuel says you don't have to be a pro negotiator to BRRRR. That's a key point. That is a key point. I think BRRRR is a lazy man strategy. Does it work? Yes, it absolutely works. Case in point, Cody's going to go through a couple of deals that we've got, but it is a lazy man strategy. I don't have to go negotiate. I don't have to work out terms. I just go to a real estate agent and I pay whatever they're asking, and I go get some lender that's going to require 35% down payment. And now I've got a 4.5% or a 5.5% interest rate loan. Guys, BRRRR is not an easy strategy. And when people are jumping into real estate, BRRRR is not. Here's what's really interesting. Okay. I have, you remember 2 weeks ago, I posted on Instagram and I said, who wants to come and spend a day driving mine and Cody's fix and flips? And I had 3 people come out, right?
Yep.
So I had 3 people come out, and there was a married couple that came out as well. I didn't really talk about them on social media much. I ended up talking about Justin a lot. But the married couple, we were driving around, spending a lot of time talking, and they go, yeah, we're running out of capital. We're running out of money. And, we joined this mentorship that's kind of pricey, and it teaches BRRRR. And I'm like, wait, you're running out of cash and you decided to join a mentorship about BRRRR? How is that going to solve your cash situation? In fact, BRRRR is the exact opposite of a cash infusion into your business. BRRRR is a cash requirement. BRRRR is like a succubus on the cash situation in your business. We don't go and do BRRRR thinking we're going to get cash out. Okay. That is not what happens. Okay. So for us, if you're going to go do a BRRRR deal, plan on spending money. You're not going to get a cash infusion in your business. Wholesaling cash deals, wholesaling creative finance, wholesaling real estate is the way to get money into your business today. Okay. BRRRR is a long-term strategy that requires cash, credit, and credentials. It is not a beginner strategy. So with all this crap talk that we have about BRRRR, right? It's not that I'm talking bad about BRRRR. It's that the misconception that BRRRR is a beginner strategy needs to be annihilated. I would scream from the rooftops that BRRRR is like such an amazing strategy. But what frustrates me is when people talk about it as a beginner strategy is where I get heated. And I watch people go join mentorships that are $10, $15, $25,000 to join a mentorship, thinking they're getting started in real estate. BRRRR is not a beginner strategy. BRRRR is for two people. It is people that have been in real estate for a while that have a cash machine like Cody and I. And it's for people who have a W-2 income that go, I don't really want to run a real estate operation. I just want to invest in real estate, 1 or 2 houses a year, and do that for 20 years to the point where I have 40 or 50 properties and I can then retire. It is not a way to get started in real estate. Okay. So Cody, why would we use BRRRR? Like when in our world, which I feel like we use BRRRR properly, when are the times we should use the BRRRR strategy?
Yeah, I mean, for us, more of the kind of refinance strategy just in general, where you'd mentioned at the beginning, we have a few deals that we bought on creative finance, either subject to or seller carries, that had balloons on them that are, either 5-year, 7-year, or 10-year balloons that, at the current rate and the terms, they work as that deal. But because the properties have appreciated, why would we not want to refinance those into 30-year debt where we can get, cash out of those deals and it would still cash flow, and we prevent ourselves from being in a deal that has a balloon on it that we're going to have to, kick the can down the road and eventually figure out anyways. So that's one of the ways. So Addison is mentioning, I thought you guys used the SIR method. So that's essentially what we're doing. The other thing is we have, we're going into Q4, guys, the end of the year. And at this time of the year, Pace and I are always looking at what is our tax liability. So we have properties that we're fix and flipping right now, about a dozen properties that we're fix and flipping. And we're looking at, oh crap, our taxes are going to be a lot higher, than we expected them to be at this point in the year based on the other properties that we acquired. So what we're looking at is, instead of opting to make the money on the fix and flip, we're converting those into being essentially BRRRR deals where we flip them like we were going to resell them, but now we're just getting tenants in place and then refinancing into long-term debt so we can get the write-off and the depreciation on those properties.
I like that. By the way, Damien says, how do you have money stuck if you use 100% OPM? So here's the challenge, Damien. It's not that we think that the BRRRR is wrong or bad. It's that the way that people pitch BRRRR, please write this down, everybody. The reason I don't like BRRRR is because of the way that people educate about it. They act as if you can get all of your money back. Okay, well, all of your money, in my opinion, is that it's also my private lender's money, right? I'm being told that I can when I refinance, I get 100% of my money out, and I can take that same amount of money and I can allocate it to the next deal. But what you're indicating, Damien, is exactly our experience, is that you always have some money stuck in the deal. Whether it's your money or a private lender's money, guess what it is? It's ammunition that I could use for another deal. So that money is stuck in a deal that I don't want stuck there. If I'm being told by BRRRR gurus that I should be able to get all of my money out, what I'm hearing is that all of my money, not, hey, you can get your personal money out, but your private investor's money needs to stay in there. Say that, for heaven's sakes. The challenging thing is I see people joining mentorships with BRRRR that are spending $10,000, $25,000 thinking that they can get all their money out on deals. In order to get all of your money out of a BRRRR deal, I think you've got to buy it about 50 cents on the dollar. Is that about the appropriate number, Cody, would you say?
Yeah, give or take, depending on how much renovation it's going to need and some things like that. But yeah, you got to buy them deeper if you want
When
to
was
get
the
all your
last
money.
time anybody bought a deal 50 cents on the dollar? We've bought a couple of, I think Coolidge, we bought 50 cents on the dollar because we sat on it for 2 years.
Yeah.
At the time we bought it at 75 cents on the dollar, but we were in a
Yeah.
lawsuit for 2 years and it appreciated. But beyond that, have we bought a deal or any of our friends bought a deal at 50 cents on the dollar that we could literally get all of our money out of the deal when we refinanced?
I think Mesa Drive would have been one if we did that one, but we never did. I mean, I think we get a couple of those a year. Most of them are not like that.
Right. So look, I want people to understand what the BRRRR strategy is, but I want people to understand that BRRRR strategy is not a cash infusion into your business. It's a great way to invest in real estate long-term.
Yes.
It's a great way to get rid of tax liabilities. It's a great way to acquire properties and build your portfolio, but it is not for beginners looking to get started because it takes 6 months before you even get your first cash flowing check, right? So is that a great way to get started in real estate? No, that's called like investing on the side, right? That's just investing on the side. You might as well buy stocks. Okay. So it's a great strategy, but you have to understand it. You're going to have money stuck in the deal. You're going to need a 680 credit score plus history. And you're also going to need a W-2 income, and you're going to need to show tax returns and all of that kind of stuff. You're not going to be like, hey man, I'm working at McDonald's and I want to get into real estate. That is what wholesaling and creative finance can do for you, right? You can jump into creative finance. You can jump into wholesaling without any cash, without any credentials, and without any credit whatsoever, right? So back to Cody's point. When we're sitting there talking about, at the end of the year, Cody and I, let's say we make millions of dollars. You told me what my K1 was going to be, and I was like, wait, what? Like the other day when we were on the phone for an hour and a half, I was like, what? We made that much money? This is amazing. That's a problem. It's a problem because let's say that hypothetically, we'll make it very, very simple. Okay. Let's see here. Doritos, the sub-2 mentorship on Kajabi. Interesting. Oh, Sam Houston, a lot of the students are talking about this. Okay. So let's say that we've got a deal. Or let's say this. Let's say that Cody and I both make $1 million in a year each. Hypothetically, we'll make the math really simple. Okay. If we make $1 million in real estate, which is incredibly easy to do, how much are we typically going to pay state of Arizona, federal income tax, and we're going to pay also self-employment tax? What do you think we're going to pay roundabout percentage? What do you think?
I mean, at $1 million
should be, I'm going to say about 45%.
45, yeah.
Okay. When I was talking to some of our other buddies, they're paying close to 50% in their taxes. The ones that are not buying real estate, the ones that are just wholesaling. Okay. So let's say we pay 45% total in taxes. That means the only thing I made $1 million, so I could only make $550,000. That sucks. That completely sucks. You gave away $450,000. You gave it to Uncle Sam, who mismanages it. So what are we doing to get rid of that liability, Cody, is 2 things. One, we make a lot of money from we make money from 3 places. The only 3 places you can actually make money in real estate is you make money from fix and flip. I also call this development because you could make money in building houses or whatever. We make money in fixing and flipping. We make money in wholesale. And we make money in cash flow on existing properties. So let's say you take all 3 of those incomes together and you make $1 million on those 3 incomes together. You got a problem. You got a $450,000 problem. So what do we do in that situation is 2 things. Okay. One, we stop making money on fix and flips. And we do what instead, Cody?
We convert those, what would have been fix and flips, into rentals.
Right. So we have actually a handful of those that you called me about in the last couple of weeks, and you asked me what and for what reason.
Asked you if you were okay if we didn't make more money in our fix and flips and just started converting as many of them as we can into rentals that we can, so we don't make more money this year.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? So Cody and I have, I think we're between like 12 and 14 flips in the hopper right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what would you say we're making average on those fix and flips? We're probably making 40 grand each.
Yeah. I mean, some higher, some lower, so that's good.
Okay, so let's say $40,000. So right now, I think you actually sent me this message. We have like $500,000 in profit sitting in our pipeline right now. That's not including properties we'll buy between now and the end of the year.
Yeah.
We have about $500,000 in profit coming to us just in the last quarter of 2021. So what you're doing is Cody's like, yo, I don't want to realize this $500,000 profitability. So let's take those houses and instead of fixing and flipping them, let's take a portion of that profit. And instead of fixing and flipping, let's turn those into rentals by doing the BRRRR strategy. So for us, there's a necessity for us in this situation is we are making way too much money to continually fix and flip this year. We need to convert some of these to BRRRR. Does that sound like a beginner strategy to you guys? Hey guys, I'm making $1 million+ in real estate. I have a major $450,000 problem. I need to utilize a strategy to get rid of my profitability and buy rentals. That is not a beginner strategy whatsoever. Okay. So, this is we have a 6 package of home, Cody. Are these all fix and flips, or are some of these homes that we're refinancing right now houses that we currently own?
It's a mix. We have 3 of them are previous ones that we've owned for a little while, and then 3 are in the bundle of fix and flips that we have. So it's a little bit of a mix.
Look at this one. This is an interesting one. So Rick Watson says, sadly, without a little tax structure, plan on saving $4,500 for Uncle Sam for every $10,000 wholesale assignment deal. That is so true. The only way I know how to get rid of tax liability is through owning real estate. Do you know anything else?
I mean, there's not much. There are some other things, but not that help you as significantly as buying real estate.
I would say there's one other strategy. It's moving to Puerto Rico. So because we have a tax liability, the first thing Cody's doing on our deals is that we are stopping as many fix and flips. So Cody's looking at this $500,000, right? And he says, okay, how do we still make some of that, but get rid of some of it? So what Cody's doing, he's like, all right, so we've got 10 houses bringing in $500,000 in profit. Oops, my bad. $500,000 in profit. What if we take 4 of those houses and we take the $160,000 we would have made and we don't make that? Instead, what we do is we go and make $340,000 on the other ones, but we go buy 4 properties for our rental portfolio instead of fixing and flipping, and we refinance them utilizing the BRRRR strategy. And these 4 properties will wipe out the tax liability on that other $340,000 utilizing depreciation. Is this the strategy?
Yes, it's exactly the strategy. Pretty much any of the ones that make sense on converting to be a rental, we're converting. The properties that we had that we're flipping that are like manufactured homes and small condos with high HOAs, those ones we aren't. But pretty much any of them that are actual single family houses, we are.
Okay, so the one thing you're doing is you've stopped us from fixing and flipping as much. I mean, we're still fixing, but we're not flipping. We're fixing and refinancing, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Now, the other thing that you're doing is you're going to some of our existing rentals, some of our sub-2 and seller finance deals that we've purchased.
Mm-hmm.
And you're picking some of those that have enough equity in them now because the market's gone up in the last, let's say, 24 months to the point where we probably do have a few houses that we can BRRRR that don't need any more money. We actually might. Are we going to be able to pull any money out of those deals or no?
Yes, we actually, yes and no. So there's the great story of the yes, and then there's the what we're doing, which is the answer is no. Is for example, Des Moines, one of the properties that we have that we have a higher balance than we'd like to be in second position against it. That property wouldn't be at a loan to value ratio of 75% for the refinance. So long story short, some of the equity, some of the cash that we would have gotten back, we're going to apply towards getting that one down to the loan to value rate so we can refinance that one, but then pull $50,000 of private money out of that deal that could then be reinvested. So
okay, so it's not that we're pulling out our own money. Yep. Our lender won't let us do that. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, the lender wants to be in the deal. So we're going to get them in another deal. So we used a private lender to get into the deal in the first place. And as we've been sitting on this deal for over a year, appreciation, thankfully has happened. And so now we're going to refinance, get that private lender's money out of it. And that amount of money, which was $500 a month in cash flow, that we're going to add to our bottom line because of refinancing that property. And now we get to use that lender's money in another deal, recycling it into another deal.
Love it. Okay, but what if we wanted to do a cash out refinance on a BRRRR deal? Can we actually take out equity out of that deal?
Not unless we've owned it for 6 months. They'll refinance 100% of cost. So however much we've spent in renovations, they'll refinance up to 100% of the cost, but they won't give you cash out until you've owned it for over 6 months. So that's the story.
Wow. 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 That's crazy. All these restrictions, all these challenges.
Even with the lender that we have, that's not, for everybody wondering, we're using an asset-based lender. We're not using a lender that's like with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. We're not using a government-backed lender. This is a lender that they lend based off the asset. And so they vet you as the investor yourself. They want to see deals that you've done over the last 24 months and the credit score, and then they look at the deal. So Damian saying there's lenders with programs that will do cash out refis with only 30 days of seasoning. Send me them. I'd be happy to, if they are asset based and they would do it within 30 days, I would talk to them. Happy to.
So Damian, I'm going to call this out a little bit because I'm going to challenge you on this. Okay. And this is not a negative thing at all. We have been doing this for years. And every time I have somebody either in my comments on my YouTube channel, in our live streams or whatever, say, I have a lender that can do things that you guys think are not possible, we always say, send us their information. Let's get them on. Let's get them on the live. Let's get that lender out there in the world. Let's overwhelm him with business. And one of two things happens. One, nobody ever sends the lender because they don't exist. They read about them on a Facebook forum or something along those lines, or they were on Bigger Pockets, which is awesome. But somebody's like talking about the mystic Bigfoot. It's like, does it exist? Does it not exist? Well, I read an article about it. I think it exists. Okay. So that's the thing, is we keep hearing people say it exists, and then they don't give us the lender, one, or two, we talk to the lender, and then the lender's like, oh yeah, that's an old program. We don't do that anymore.
Or send me your taxes.
Or send me your taxes. Or send me this. Or you have a Filipino attached to your business. Guys, we have a business partner in the Philippines that owns a portion of one of our businesses. And even though it's not even related to our real estate acquisition business, they still look at that as a problem in lending to us. So it's like one thing after another, after another, after another. I would love for you guys, if you're doing the BRRRR strategy and you have proof that you have a lender that can do what they say they do, I would bring them on the live and we would actually challenge them on one of our properties. I mean, we have 6 houses right now to refinance. That's this month. We'll give him business. Let's give them business. Daniel Kong says, I have a lender that can do Fannie Freddie cash out immediately. Let me know. I'll happily send his info.
That's the problem. They're going to ask for your taxes. They ain't giving you a loan based on the asset.
Yeah. So think about that. If I'm a brand new investor, right, and I don't have tax returns for my real estate business, and I'm trying to get a loan in my real estate business, Fannie Freddie is not going to work, right? So that's again, going back to the very beginning, that's not a beginner strategy, right? A Fannie Freddie cash out immediately would mean I need a W-2 or a job, some job history. I'm unemployed and I'm non-employable. Okay. Daniel Kong says, I'm serious. It's a creative strategy. I would love. Okay. Daniel says it's a refi on your own LLC. Daniel, let's get that lender on the live. Okay. Let's give them some business. Okay. Why not put some money in a self-directed IRA? So interesting. I am so against IRAs and self-directed. I am so against all of that stuff. Once you get into actually owning a real estate business, a self-directed IRA is like pouring molasses into like churning wheels. It's the slowest, most challenging instrument ever. There are way faster, quicker instruments to deploy money, to save money, to be tax-free. A lot of people use IRAs because they're trying to save money on tax or defer taxes. We just use depreciation. We don't need any of that stuff. Okay. But these are really, really good. What about delayed financing? Delayed financing. What would that mean? Would that mean that's kind of like Coolidge, not Coolidge? What would that be? Something that we bought subject to 2 years ago and now we're refinancing it?
Yeah, I don't know what they're specifically trying to reference, but again, anything government, anything where it's going to be on the government side of loans, they're going to be asking for your taxes. Like there's just no way around it. I mean, I talked to probably a dozen lenders before we found this particular lender. Like any lender they're going to be taking and giving you that financing from the government. Then when they fund that loan, they have that loan on their books that they're going to sell to Wall Street. And Wall Street, they ain't trying to buy that debt. So these are going to be asset-based lenders that a lot of times are holding their debt on their books. I know I'm in the weeds now, so I don't want to lose everybody.
Let's talk about weeds. Samuel Aronoff says, what about investing in startups and stocks? Talk about just here, give me a lighter and I will burn your money right now.
Startups are like the freaking worst thing ever to invest in. I mean, yeah, like someone's going to be like, what about Uber? If you invested early in Uber, it's like startups, most companies fail regardless, just in general in the business world, most companies will fail within the first couple of years. And it's like over 90% within 10 years fail. So it's like, I don't think it makes sense. If you're going to invest in business, buy functioning businesses that are already existing and successful, but startups, nah. Stocks, we're not the stock guys. So I would say no on stocks. I feel like stocks is just gambling and just hoping for something to go well.
You know who's coming to my house for dinner this coming Friday?
Who? Andre
Zick from YouTube. Do you know Andre?
That sounds really familiar.
Yeah, he's very popular. He's like 1.7 million in YouTube subscribers. Andre Zick. Jikh. And he talks about crypto and stocks and all that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited having a conversation with him. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to grow wealth and you want to grow reliable wealth, it's not through stocks. It's not through crypto. It's not through any of that stuff. It's through real estate. It's the most timeless, proven method of building real wealth and cash flow. Here's what I don't like about crypto. One, it gets my emotions going crazy. It's like, it's up, it's down, it's left, it's right, it's whatever. And I feel like it's something I can't touch, I can't feel, I can't smell. Everything is contingent upon somebody else's feelings and manipulation to the utmost extreme, right?
Like China bans Bitcoin every 6 months so that the price tanks, they buy more and then they bring it back.
Right. So, very interesting. Lawrence Swartz says, is it possible to buy a house sub 2 and rent it out to yourself? Well, why would you rent it to yourself? Every house that Cody and I have bought recently has been on creative finance. Last house Cody lived in, subject to, House I currently live in right now is subject to. House I lived before that, which I still own, subject to. The last several hundred houses we've bought is either seller finance or subject to, and we can choose to live in them, rent them out, Airbnb them, behavioral health, corporate housing, whatever we want to do with them. They are our houses. We can do what we want with them, right? Sean Bolden says, is Vanilla Ice coming on your show? No, Vanilla Ice and I are going to be on stage together on Wednesday in Tampa. That's what that post was all about. Check it out. Sam Houston says, as someone who's got a good stock portfolio, it's not the best strategy at all for building wealth. Here's the challenge I see with crypto and stocks and all these other things. If I want to buy groceries with my stock money, guess what I got to do? I got to get out of the market. I got to pull my investment out. I got to sell my investment to go buy groceries. Okay. And that's just, obviously nobody's doing that. But with real estate, I get a check every single month, right? Whether I have an Airbnb or I have a rental, Cody and I, if we decided, hey, let's have a company party every single month, we can have our investment pay for that because we have cash coming in passively every single month. However, our investment is still intact. All you cryptos and stock investors, you have to sell and get rid of your investment in order to buy something. And so that's a strategy I don't love. I know, Cody, you're investing in crypto like just incrementally, right?
Yeah. I just have automatic buys every week, regardless of what's happening. Right. But again, it's like I treat like crypto and stocks and other things outside of real estate as more of like asset allocation and like wealth preservation investing, because if the market tanks, then if I have money in like silver, gold, crypto, some stocks, and if the real estate market goes down and those for some reason hold better, then I still have my net worth doesn't take just a huge dump. I'm able to have some other assets, but I don't see those as the primary investment vehicle.
So Claudio Diaz, this is interesting. So Jamil Damji and I were given an opportunity to sit down with Grant Cardone this week, but we just couldn't make it happen. We're probably going to do it sometime in January. I'm a humongous fan of Grant Cardone. Humongous. Not only from a marketing standpoint, but his videos on haters are like the greatest videos of all time. They're so good. And they're timely for like what Cody and I go through. So good. So I love Grant Cardone, but I disagree with him. I was actually thinking about this literally yesterday. I was in the pool and I was talking about how I was just thinking, I was hanging out with my two kids and just, you're sputtering your thoughts. And the thought of what Grant Cardone says of like, don't think that the house you live in is an asset. It's actually a liability. I was like, well, it depends on how you look at it. Is Hayel using the garbage disposal?
Sound like it.
Love it. Or did she spill a pile of bricks?
Something. I don't know what she's doing.
So Cody, what's your take on that? Grant Cardone says your house is not an investment. It's a liability. What's your feelings on that?
I mean, if we just look at like the basic, like asset versus liability, asset is something that puts money in your pocket. Liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. If you're paying for your house and it's not paying you, it's a liability. But I think that that's like not telling the full story, because I see Grant Cardone's mindset around it as he's investing in big multifamily deals. And it makes more sense at like scale of renting where you live and his mindset of it. But for like the more normal person, like a small business owner to a medium-sized business owner, I think it makes more sense to own the home, because most people's wealth is going to be in their properties that they own over the years of appreciation. But again, like Daniel's saying, if the house you live in appreciates and you make money 10 years later, then it is an asset. But
yeah, I completely agree with that, dude. It's a piggy bank, right? So let me ask you this question. How many investments are people making that they can't use the cash every single month, right? Like a stock, right? The stock goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, but we call that an investment. Do I get a check from it every single month? I guess if I buy a stock that gives me dividends,
yeah.
But what if I don't buy a stock that gives me dividends? Is that not a liability if it's going down in value, up in value, down in value, and it's something I can't rely on actually receiving monthly income off of?
Yeah, and another thing I would say too on Daniel's argument, if it appreciates and you make money 10 years later, then it is an asset. Well, what if you bought your house in 1998 and you planned on your house being an asset, and in 10 years, in 2008, the financial crisis, now your house ain't worth shit. And now you're like, crap, my house wasn't an asset because I've been paying for landscaping, property taxes, homeowners insurance, fixing up the inside, doing all the little miscellaneous repairs. And over 10 years, you've been spending money. It was going up in value. So it looked like you were getting rich on paper, and then the market goes down, and then it's not an asset. So yes, we do appreciate appreciation, and we are happy when that does happen, but that's not the strategy that we're like hoping for that works out for us. We want cash flow from the real estate.
Yeah, here's the answer. I think Grant Cardone is speaking a little bit out of context to the audience, right? His audience is not Grant. And so he's so scaled. It's like taking advice. It's like taking advice from Mike Tyson when you first start boxing. You don't even have a pair of gloves. Like, dude, you got to start small. And like you said, most people's largest investment they'll ever make is in their home. So when you go around and spread a blanket comment like your house is a liability, not an asset, you're literally talking to the 1% of the 1%, right?
Yeah.
So 99% of people, it's the greatest investment they'll ever make. Even though it's not passive income every single month, it's doing two things. Number one, it's paying down the mortgage, right? So either A, you're paying your landlord's mortgage down, or B, you're paying your own mortgage down. So in that by itself is a piggy bank, okay? At some point, you will pay that off. The second thing is that over time, your house will appreciate and it will be a great investment. It's just a matter of holding on.
Mm-hmm.
But Grant Cardone is not talking to individual homeowners when he's saying that. He's talking about the big players, the big boys in the real estate space of like, look, you need to deploy your capital into actual investments that are paying you every single month. Don't deploy your capital into something that, you want to live in some nice house. So you have to realize who he's talking to.
Yep.
So a couple of things we've got a couple hundred people on here today. Thank you guys. We didn't even promote Sunday service today. So, or even at all this week, we just have so many things going on. I want to say thank you to everybody. First and foremost, thank you so much. The questions, the comments, the love that you guys give us on Sunday service has been amazing. Couple of things coming up. Next week, there will not be Sunday service. Actually, maybe we should do Sunday service. You should maybe come in at 7:00 during the 26-hour live, and we should do a Sunday service section of the 26-hour live.
Love it.
Next Sunday morning, guys, less than a week from today at 3 a.m. Arizona time. So if you're East Coast, that's 6 a.m. I will be going live for 26 straight hours. Okay. A couple of reasons why. One, because I get the question all the time, how do I get started in real estate? And I have made a decision that my goal was to never, ever have to answer that question ever again. And so we did that with Zero to Hero. Okay. Zero to Hero was the answer of how do I get started in real estate? And the challenge with Zero to Hero is that it's kind of geared towards people that have a budget to spend on marketing. So we decided to do another Zero to Hero challenge, and we're going to launch it on October 3rd, which would be next Sunday. And that Zero to Hero challenge is all about people trying to get into real estate that don't have a budget. People that are jokingly, I say this jokingly and endearingly because there was a point where I could call myself this. We're going to call it the broke ass challenge. Just kidding. We won't call it the broke ass challenge, but it's people who are broke asses. People who have no money, right? I was one of those people, so I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm just saying it in a jovial, funny, teasing way. We're going to be launching the Zero to Hero challenge, which is how do I start with zero and how do I get a deal within a couple of weeks? We're going to start that challenge on October 3rd. The other reason I'm doing it is because I want to go through all the letters of the alphabet. Why is it 26 hours? Well, because I've already done a 25-hour, and I guess I have to one-up myself. So there's that. The other reason is because there's 26 letters in the alphabet. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you guys the ABCs of real estate all the way from the very, very, very beginning. We're going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way through. And the first letter is the topic that we're going to talk about. Okay. And it's basically a breakdown of everything you need to know to get started in real estate. It will be the ABCs of real estate. We're going to bring in some special guests. We're going to be bringing in some attorneys, some escrow officers. We're going to be bringing in some fun people just to give you guys the basic rundown of everything you need to know about getting started in real estate. So that's next Sunday. You guys can set a reminder. I'm going to be giving away prizes every hour. So like t-shirts, hats, all that kind of stuff for people that are on the live session. And I will also let anybody that can prove, which I don't know if anybody could ever prove this, but if anybody else could watch me for 26 hours straight and prove that they were there for 26 hours straight, I'll give you something epic, like life-changingly cool. Okay. So we're going to be doing the 26-hour live next Sunday. Couple of other things. The premiere of Triple Digit Flip is next Saturday, which is cool. Can I tell everybody something special?
Yes.
We got approved. We got already greenlit for the second season of the TV show, which is a massive, massive deal in TV world. Massive. It's really hard to get a pilot done, and then it's really hard to get greenlit for a show. It's really hard to actually get aired. It's really hard to get on like an A&E network, and then it's nearly impossible to get a second season.
So amazing.
It's very cool. And so all of that being said, that's Saturday. We're going to do a premiere on Saturday, which is amazing. Cody's going to be wearing his tux and pulling up in his Porsche. It's going to be super dope.
Am I supposed to be dressed up for that?
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. So there's that. And then Sunday, we're going to do the 26-hour live. I'll probably have Cody jump in at 7 o'clock for Sunday service. So instead of Sunday service being Sunday service, it will be the 26-hour live. So guys, please still tune it in at 7 o'clock. I'll have Cody in there. We'll talk about stuff. And then I really want to see the community because we're going into the last quarter of the year. The last quarter of the year. And I want to know who in here has not gotten a deal this year. Give me a no or zero or something along those lines to show us that you have not done a deal this year. I want to see that in the comments. We want to see how many people have not done a deal, whether it's a wholesale, buying a rental, doing a fix and flip, whatever it is. Who in here has not done a deal? So Carolyn, Sean Bolden, Harp, Jonathan Newsom says, who gives as much value as these guys? I'll wait. Nobody. Haha. Alizette says 0. A lot of zeros in here, guys. So this is why we want to do the challenge. Okay. The 0 to Hero challenge is all about people that don't have a budget. They don't have a lot of money to spend. They can't afford a virtual assistant. They can't afford a list. They can't afford those types of things. And so we're going to do a challenge all around getting a deal with $0. My partner, Matt Beard, Cody Barton, and myself are going to structure a really cool, fun way to keep everybody accountable. And we're going to do a daily live for the 0 to Hero. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is stay tuned this week. We're going to start sprinkling on Instagram, like how to sign up for it. Cause we're going to make it a private group. Okay. The group is going to be very private. We're not going to make it out on YouTube because again, we're going to be calling sellers. We're going to be, actually negotiating with people, and we don't want their name out on YouTube in live sessions. Okay. Steve, this is even better. This is what I love. Steve says, I didn't even get started yet. I mean, I can't even say 0 because shoot, I haven't even started, man. So what we're going to be doing is we're doing the challenge for you guys. We're doing a challenge together that you guys can follow 2 hours a day. That's all we're going to do is 2 hours worth of work every single day. And we're going to show you how to get your first deal in a very short matter of time. There is no reason by the end of the year you can't get your first deal in the last quarter of the year. Ooh, Chad Glover, crushing the creative finance game, by the way. Chad Glover's. Hey, Cody, go to your mic settings real quick on StreamYard and switch it to your mic, not to your computer.
Dang, did I really not have it to my mic?
It's been on your laptop the whole time.
Gosh, wow. I'm so smart.
Oh, wow. Now that sounds so good. It's ridiculous.
So at least we have the last, 4 minutes of this with good audio for me.
Yeah. And just FYI, the audio, you wouldn't have heard Hayel turning the garbage disposal on with that microphone. All right. So check it out. Daisy Nicole, I'm so thankful to be here today. So guys, can everybody do us a favor? Here's what I want you guys to do. I'm going to show you guys something real quick. And I want you guys to all do this for me. Okay. So if you go to youtube.com, I'm going to show you guys a screen share of this. Pace Morby. Okay. Let's do a little screen share of this window. Boom. So if you go here, what you're going to see is right here is a 26-hour live stream. Okay.
Yes.
It's already set and ready to go. I've had, wow, I'm surprised nobody's disliked it. There's always somebody that dislikes these things.
Someone's like, this sucks.
Freaking 26 hours, should have done 48 hours. What are you, a sissy?
Yeah.
Right. All right. So what I want you guys to do is go to that YouTube link. Please go there and click on set a reminder right here. Please do me a favor. Click on set a reminder so that you guys can tune in at least once during the day. I don't expect you to be there for 26 hours, but it would be really, really nice if you guys could just tune in, say hello. And we're going to be going through the ABCs of real estate and get you guys started. We're going to also talk about the challenge, the 0 to Hero challenge on that, and what are the particulars, how to tune in, all of that kind of stuff. It's not going to cost any money. You just want to give massive value to people. And we want to create a community around a challenge so that everybody in their fourth quarter of the year can get out and get a deal. That's the reason why we do these free lives and these free live streams for you guys. Manny, freaking man, he's awesome. Alejandro Alvarez says, I'll be there for the whole 26. Actually, Alejandro, I think you're going to be in Phoenix for the premiere. So you probably will be. Maybe you can stop by the studio and say hi and actually be on the live. Cody is not only human, he's going to have 6 kids. Bro, is there something I don't know?
That is not going to happen. That was someone said that on a previous live and it's lingering now.
What was that all about?
Just talking, I don't even know, honestly. I don't know how that got brought up. But anyways, changing the subject. How are you going to get up at 3 after your huge premiere party? Well, one, guys, Pace doesn't drink. Pace doesn't party. Party for Pace is going to be like, 3 iced teas deep after drinking an orange Monster. Like,
yeah, that is true. The other thing is Cody and I, so on Saturday, just so you know, Cody, right after the premiere, you and I are teaching Jamil's mastermind. You know that, right?
Yes, I did know that.
And then I think that there's going to be a sub 2, an Astro, and a TTP meetup. I wonder if we could get the 0 to Hero people as well. We could do a 4-way meetup in Arizona. Tristan Trenberth is doing the collab on that. We could do a 4-way meetup between those 4 communities. All in Arizona. I think what Tristan's hoping to do is actually extend the place that we're renting and just have a big meetup there and just like the biggest real estate meetup of the year type of thing,
Let's do it.
Let's see. So Rodney says, so what you're saying is that after this 26-hour live, I'll have the knowledge and resources to make a deal happen? Yes, Rodney, you will.
Yes.
It's interesting. Jonathan Newsom says, Pace, when's the next mastermind, bro? It's already sold out. But we're potentially pushing it to January because of how much stuff is going on. We didn't know that we were going to get the 2nd season of the TV show. And they want to highlight a lot more of mine and Cody's real estate business on the TV show. So there is going to be a lot more pressure on our real estate business, which is, the foundation of everything else. And so there's a possibility that we push the mastermind all the way to the beginning of the year, just FYI. So we'll let you know how that goes. Rita says, would that be a replay? So the 26-hour live, here's what I'm doing. The 26-hour live is now going to live and breathe on the YouTube channel indefinitely. Okay, we're going to make one live stream, and it's going to be a permanent live stream on my YouTube channel, so that anytime somebody brand new comes and they go, how do I get started in real estate? I'm going to say, go watch the live stream on my YouTube channel. We'll literally walk you through the ABCs of real estate. If you have a question after that, then you need to squat up with somebody. But we're going to talk about the ABCs of real estate. Basic stuff for 26 straight hours. And I'm going to do it chronologically and in sequential order. I'm not going to be like, okay, title and escrow, and we're going to do it on like the first hour. That ain't going to happen. Like literally title and escrow is letter T. We're not even going to talk about title and escrow until we get to letter T. Okay. So, oh, Samuel says, will your TV show be recorded somewhere? Well, Samuel, it's on A&E. So if you go to, I wonder if it's even on like their website. Cody, you got anything to say while I look this up?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to make the promotion that I make every week. For those of you that don't know, Sunday service is on Spotify and iTunes. So while you're driving to work or you're driving from home to work, work to home, you can listen to Sunday service on there. So just wanted to let everybody know that, watches this, live on YouTube, that you can listen to past episodes throughout your work week. So.
All right. So check this out. Here's where you guys can find the TV show. This is kind of weird to even think about, but here I am sharing A&E's television schedule with you guys. Right there, guys. It's right here on the screen. Bada bing, bada boom. October 2nd. What time? Triple digit flip. Animal House versus Madison House. The Animal House versus Madison House. Jamil and team have a decision to make. 2 houses, but they can only flip one. Jamil, Pace, Rahima, and Laura dive in, faced with a tight timeline and some unexpected hurdles. Will the dream team end up with a nightmare of a flip? Wow. That's so freaking dope. Season 1, episode 1. It's on A&E, guys. So if you want to watch it, you got to just go to A&E's television show or their channel. There you go. It's right here in the side shot. Let's see. Pricks, Money, Family. Oh. All right.
Bye.
Mark says, do I know how it ends? Yes, I do actually know how that one ends. Actually, I don't know. I've never seen the episodes. I don't know what they look like. So it's going to be really interesting for us. Cody and I will be watching it live in a big, massive theater that we've rented out for like 450 people to come and hang out. Last week, we gave away 25 spots to that premiere to the audience here. So we'll see the 25 of you guys that ended up being able to come. Ooh, interesting. Harp Marbury says, I couldn't make it Uncle Lon's a free lead Zoom. Is it recorded someplace where I can see it? Yes. Everything that is in the private mentorship of sub2.com is always recorded. It is always shared. You will be able to get access to it in the Kajabi app, and you can go and watch that out. All right. So guys, good Sunday service. Next Sunday, we will not be doing Sunday service the typical way. We'll be doing Sunday service during a 26-hour live. I'll have Cody jump in for probably a couple of hours with me. Maybe he'll have him start at 6, have him get out at 8.
Just do it.
Have him hang out for a couple of hours right before I go into the late night session. And the last 10 hours or so of the live, whatever it is. Let's see. Well, I got to go after you get off. I have to go another 9 hours. But like by the time you get to 17 hours, by the time you get off, it'll be a breeze. Like I'll be like, dude, this is easy.
The cruising will hit your second wind.
I'll get my second wind. You will revitalize me, bro. You will revitalize me. It'll be great. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into Sunday service. If you have not tuned into Cody's YouTube, let's give you Cody's YouTube.
Shout out.
We just got a new editor, which is dope.
Yes.
And this editor is going to be helping out Cody get more of his videos out more timely because he's got some of the best content in the game. Interesting. Cody Barton. Let me give you guys his link. Guys, go give Cody a subscribe, please, on his YouTube channel. That would be amazing. There it is on the screen. And guys, we will see you next week, not for Sunday service. There will be no Sunday service next week. There will only be a 26-hour live. I hope to see you guys there. Every hour, I will be giving away swag or gifts or something fun just to keep the day fun. And we will see you guys next week on not Sunday service. Later, guys.